Alright, looks like my stream is officially looking to be live here. But hello. This is Sinister Gambino here with a new stream. In the stream, I'm be going over the event month, first month for basically August 2026 for Red Dead Online. Crazy to think that, like, after this one, I might only do, like, a couple more of them, and, like, once November is done, I might just be done, because of GTA 6 VI code in a fuck-ass box and all that bullshit. Oh, and speaking of which, they've done another fucking shitty thing, basically. Locking whole shops from with the Ultimate Edition, the GTA 6 VI code in a fuck-ass box. Shit probably won't have a fucking map as well, even like Red Dead Redemption 2 even had, for example, with like a map in the actual physical copy of the game. Now they're apparently they apparently announced, they made like a trailer for a trailer, apparently. Extended a look for GTA 6 VI. And and yes, it's exclusive to Netflix apparently for 6 hours. Now, honestly, in my opinion, in a sense, at least, not the biggest deal since it's only exclusive for 6 hours, but why even do that shit at all? Are they that desperate to make their fucking money back in some different way, shape, and forms, and like all kinds of like other money manipulation with their partners? Like, I know they've worked with Netflix for a while for like GTA Trilogy's like mobile version, like definitive editions that were not as much quote unquote like the Grove Street games, Grove shit games, like Wardrum Studios formerly. They were AK Wokedrum Studios formerly, as I like to call them. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've had stuff going on with like Netflix for like a while, so I guess not the most surprising thing they're doing like GTA 6 via the extended kind of look thing or whatever. I may have heard it might be 20 minutes long, is what the talk is kind of like. Netflix customer support or something may have confirmed that somehow or something. I assume it's definitely going to have gameplay in it, I would assume. So, I mean, that could maybe be exciting, interesting. Maybe somehow they win me back of that, but like, fuck them fucking over physical media with their fucking shitty marketing deal with Sony with the physical copy, like GTA 6 via code in a fuck ass box. Signed a deal with the fucking devil, basically. Deliberately making PS5 Pro without the disc drive at like $700, I think it was initially. Now I think it's more like 900 with how fucked up this world is anymore. So what is that shit, like $1,000 if you want a disc drive, and they're canning physical media anyways in January 2028? Fuck ass Sony. And of course, Cockstar's stupid asses decided it's such a good idea since they've been such long time partners with them since like Grand Theft Auto 3 and all that kind of shit. Because what, like GTA 3 back in the day was like timed exclusive on PlayStation due to some deal or something. So to make their billions upon billions back, I guess they're fucking over the consumer that way and all that kind of shit. Yeah, I'm kind of getting to be fucking done with Cockstar at this fucking point, man. Like, seriously, man. Seriously, man. Like, I might not even buy GTA 6 if I have a low fucking key. I don't feel to buy that shit. But yeah. Anyways, for the title, this stream though, I guess to kind of get going with that. With the kind of rant kind of stuff. And yeah, just because 6 hours this time around doesn't mean like something in the future they might do like a day exclusivity or some ridiculous thing like that even. So now I critique the fuck out of that shit, and hopefully they'll fucking listen, but they probably fucking won't anyways. And yes, I heard apparently Red Dead Redemption had something like Fox News or something back in the day. Maybe that was kind of timed exclusive or something for like some small amount of time. Maybe it might have been 6 hours back then too. But just because they did that shit back in like fucking where original Red Dead Redemption like came out, like 2010 or whatever the fuck, doesn't make it like even more okay now or any bullshit like that. But yeah, the title of the stream though, 3 times money, XP, and gold for telegrams. It's the huge kind of stuff going on. Now, apparently, the new source of employment, by the way, is excluded from the gold part, so those ones in particular are only going to be the 3 times money and XP in those particular ones. But like any other telegram strand, it looks like strong, you'll basically be getting the 3 times on the money, XP, and the gold. Increase in gold can definitely be very good, no doubt about that. Being like the most premium currency in the game. Basically like the paid ass currency in the game for real life money. For some reason you're a very new player, the roles require spending like gold on. But yeah. I feel all very much depends on like the type of telegrams, like doing the hardest difficulties, all that kind of stuff, like how good the money ends up being. Like if you can get all the way up to highest difficulty, like Ruthless, for example, especially, that's where you'll probably make the most serious money on those. And of course, therefore, the XP and gold will follow suit as well, basically. In a sense, at least. At least the XP I could very much see. Gold could be more streamlined for all I know throughout the different difficulties, for all I know, though. There's apparently also bonuses on collector set sales, rents on clothing, and more. Those I'll kind of more get into later, I suppose, with the game itself. Right now, it looks like there's a hardcore elimination series. I'll probably talk about these later since, yeah, I kind of want to get into the game. Because I kind of started like the initial menu for GTA 9, I kind of figured to start like this before I even get into a lobby anyways. Gave more excuse to talk about GTA 6 via like Netflix trailer debacle thing now, because apparently they're doing another thing to fuck over the consumer in a sense. Again, nowhere near as bad as the other examples I listed with the locking whole shops behind the Ultimate Edition. And especially the GTA 6 via code in the fuck ass box, not getting to actually own the fucking game. Basically, when you buy it and you use that code, you can't resell it or none of that bull. Besides for the paperweight, like, box, basically, that would hold a disc, but instead holds fucking code. And in the case of actually, like, using it, it basically wouldn't. Besides, would basically just be a paperweight artwork or something at that point. Or whatever the fuck. Alright, so yeah, going into free roam my shout now. Well, I actually remember to kind of start out here instead of Synchrony for once, because like usually after a stream I just stay there and get auto kicked or something interesting. I actually went out the way to remember that, so that was nice. That was nice. Or if I'm usually on the horse when it is, or if I have something near whatever. Whatever though. Whatever though. And I should also bring up, actually, I fully agree with the Gilly Master video. Like, if I didn't do the greatest job bringing the point about, like, the Netflix being, like, why that's such a pain in the ass, watch the Gilly Master video. If you, for some reason, want, like, 4K resolution on that and you want to watch it, like, literally in the first 6 hours or something for some reason, it's like, I hear, like, around, like, $30 for the subscription or some bullshit. For that kind of video quality, and the rest are apparently 1080p. I don't overly care about that kind of being the most. That's something on a 1080p television with PS5 and all that stuff here, not 4K or any of that. But for those that do care, worth mentioning, I suppose. Suppose. Yeah. People may just be covering that in some way, shape, or form, like as it goes live, or some kind of YouTubers out there, I'm sure. Probably a better way to watch it at least for the first 6 hours or something. Till it gets on, like, I think the Rockstar Games YouTube channel for like 9 p.m. Eastern or something like that. Basically though. But yeah, Telegram missions though, at every time it's my XP gold. That's a first title in this. I was basically saying already. Okay, yeah, here they do actually mention what I was saying earlier. I figure I'll just mention it just in case it wasn't mentioned. It includes stuff, by the way, like a tough business, Skeleton's contract. For example, like the DLC name that I've kind of chose here. Albeit it was not downloadable DLC. Like something like, I think Skeleton's contract at least had a downloadable DLC, but Strange Tales of the West, I think they just randomly like added in the game basically. But like there hasn't been significant content addition like since then for the most part, for the most part. But yes, though. Yes, though. See, a tough business, Skeleton's contract, Strange Tales of the West, and other kinds as well. Now, I think, by the way, the call to arms, I think, might also kind of be in the Telegram section, but I think those get pretty much counted as their own thing, basically. It's like when they do money opportunity for call to arms, they actually call it call to arms or something. So I'm pretty sure that's not included, for example, even if it is in the Telegram, like, menu or something. worth mentioning there as well. But again, basically just play the Ruthless difficulties or whatever highest difficulties. That's basically the way to get the most out of money, XP, and gold. Certainly on those. Some of them I think allow for like assisted aim, other ones I think are forced like free aim and stuff, so just keep that in mind when you play those. Like the different abilities and stuff you have kind of is based on like which ones you play. Some will just basically end up being better than the others for that reason. I don't think there's anything there to mention. Alright, but apparently the collector set sales, apparently it's 3 times money, roll XP, and XP. So whatever you get normally is 3 times more in the money. And yeah, collector set sales, I think, is basically the big money maker out there, so having 3 times more on that is fucking insane. Like Bounty Hunter, I think when it came to initial rolls, was the best one for gold, and basically is the best roll for gold. Nothing else really competes for roll gold related stuff. Put it like Bounty Hunter, for example. So obviously that one specializes there. Gold, not money. Trader, I feel was kind of the weakest of the initial 3, and the collector sets were basically the big money maker, and still very much I think is the biggest money making like role in the whole entire game. It may even be the best way to make money in the whole game. See, every time's on that free. 3 times on that, yes, is absolutely insane. But roll XP is even 3 times. If for some reason you still need roll XP in the game still in 2026. And then regular XP apparently will be very insane with 3 times as well. Especially for those big, huge collector set sales, it'll be pretty nice for XP. I'm pretty sure money, by the way, is heavily dependent on the set. The XP might be more general, like same amount, like no matter what kind of full collector set you go for. Yes, so I think the XP is more generalized, so like you basically get the same XP no matter what like collector set you go for. Versus like money is heavily based on like whatever type of collector set full sale you do, whatever basically. And in case of like the weekly ones, like weekly collections or whatever, those ones I think usually are around like $100-ish bucks. So like several hundred or like whatever. Like on a 3 times event or whatever. May even be able to get like 1,000-ish bucks on 3 times, not having a line on some of those. Could be wrong though, but I feel that's very much the case. Now I recommend, by the way, using the Gene Rock collector map. GANRPKE. Like collector map, whatever, for like Reddit Online. If you do use the GTAWeb.eu collector map for like GTA Online, it's basically linked there, I believe, as well. The above ground ones will be very easy ones to get 3 times consistently for, since there's dedicated spawns like above ground for certain collectible types like all the time. That reset like every day of real life time or something. At some point, I believe. So above ground ones will be like the easiest ones to take advantage of. And partially like randomized or whatever. I think it's reserved for last jewelry, I believe. So like, I assume partially randomized is something like. I yes assume partially randomized is. Some might be above ground, like your above ground ones, but like other ones might be like underground, and you might have like a lot of RNG on some of them or something, like the ones I'll talk about later, the fully underground ones. Like fully underground, fully randomized, like collectibles, whatever. Which I think if the launcher collector was basically the coins and arrowheads. And then eventually the fossils came out as well at some point. Unfortunately with those ones, if you use the Gene Rock Collector map on your preferred search engine like Google or, yes, like Google or whatever, yeah, you do that, you'll get locations for coins, arrowheads, fossils, depending on the type of fossil, if you're looking more into that as well. But even though for the fully underground ones it can give you a location, it's not going to be set in stone which one you pick up. Like, for example, fully above ground, like American Wildflowers, like tarot cards and stuff. Like bird eggs, even. Like, those are like the easiest kind of ones in some cases, being fully above ground. With no randomization much whatsoever. So yeah, coins, if you get unlucky, you might not even get one of the one you're actually looking for example, until like another day or like a couple days after or something, even if you dig up every single coin spot in the game for the given day or days. And obviously, likewise, it goes for the arrowheads and the fossils as well. Arrowheads, by the way, might also be a bit of like an outlier, since arrowheads, there is technically a free roam event or something where it gets lodged into like an animal and you can like get arrowheads that way. But like, that random event is probably really rare since there's so many random events in the game and there's forced public lobbies and like the vanilla game without like PC like modding invite only. Having to see like kind of only way to do something like that. There's not officially invite only lobbies like for the public to go to or anything on like say GTA Online with all the different lobbies with all the different types of lobbies that one has. I mean. But yeah, that's basically how collectibles work. Depending on like which kind of ones you want, basically. We have fully randomized ones, the fully underground ones to basically get you the most money if it didn't stay by the way as well. That's basically kind of talking a little more about the Fruitons roll XP thing from earlier. It looks like we're done. Collect a roll. But it's saying the metal detector and Pennington Field shovel are both 50% off from Mount Nazar. So those are both very essential items for collecting. I think for sure, no matter what type of collector you are, unless you purely go like fully above ground collectibles for whatever reason, which probably isn't ideal to even be doing, then that would be the only case I can maybe see where you don't really need those, if you only want to limit yourself to like above ground collectibles for whatever reason. The metal detector allows you to find underground collectibles, and then the way you even get the underground collectibles is with that Pennington Field shovel. So you might not even need the metal detectors if you use like the Gene Rock collector map, if you can find them well or something, but like it just makes it a whole lot easier. And plus, when you're on horseback all throughout the map, when you're not doing anything. You can also use a metal detector when you have like a bunch of off time, like just roaming the map basically, and you can get a bunch of collectibles that way, which makes it very, very much worth it. So I see no reason to skimp out on the metal detector or the Pennington Field shovel again, unless you're not interested in like underground collectibles like at all for whatever reason. And yeah, the event, by the way, ends literally at the end of August 31st. Pretty much anything on this will be in that time. Apparently the Frontiersman outfit is available or something again. Yeah, and that's done apparently by reaching specific ranks and playing throughout the month, like kind of login reward stuff it sounds like, or something. But apparently if you log in anytime for the end of the event, you'll receive the Frontiersman hat. If you discover 2 collectibles in your week for the month, you'll get the Frontiersman gloves. So literally, like I said, you want to be using like metal detector, going underground ones, when you might just be roaming the map, not having anything else to do on the way to something else or something. Or simply use the Gene Rock collector map, you can go like above ground ones simply or something. That are basically guaranteed spawns, all that stuff. Yeah, the 2 collectible theme, yeah, I get to see the Frontiersman gloves. If you complete 2 daily challenges, you'll also get offered for tentacle bars off any roll. Gift. If yes, you play any 2 daily challenges, you'll also get an offer for tentacle bars off any roll. Gating item? Am I reading that right? Is that for like initiation items, basically? Like ones to start like a roll? I'll look on the newswire, I guess it might be a little more clear there somehow. But I assume roll gains definitely like the starting like roll items or whatever, basically, that get you into the roll in the first place. I don't feel like you should use that terminology, but I'm pretty sure that's what that's going to be for. So the daily challenges probably go over those. I assume that's still listed at like 7, right? Not gonna count like roll ones, right? I would assume. Except daily challenges kind of counts as general, and then roll. Maybe you can do either. Maybe. Maybe then you could do either general or roll ones, even. Is there a 1 bird shooting contest completed? I assume it's one of those like purple free roam events, I'm guessing. Or if not, then it's like a free roam event or something, like one of those like white dot kind of things that can randomly pop up on the map or something. Which, by the way, if it is a purple free roam event, you can actually use the Gene Rock collector map for that as well. I believe it actually lists like when those happen even before the game itself will tell you. It's apparently able to be found in the back. It is apparently able to be found in the back end ahead of time through the Gene Rock collector map for those purple like free roam event things that go into like a separate lobby briefly or whatever. And 0 out of 2 bull skinned. Would something like a pronghorn ranch work good? Was that a location for like delete story sessions. I kind of forget, to be honest. To be honest. So that would basically be in like the older map or something. Like the Red Dead Redemption 1's map, basically, if so. Maybe I'm just misremembering or something, I kinda forget. Or was that actually in like Strawberry or something, like in the newer part might have been? Because I don't necessarily remember that name from first Red Dead Redemption. From yes, first Red Dead Redemption. Like, would Pronghorn have like bulls to it? I forget. Like, you could go to single player if you have the compendium entry for it in single player. I think it's basically the same kind of area you would find it for online. Or look up like the Red Dead fandom wiki or something, basically. Basically. And then 0 out of 5 feathers sold. Yes, 0 out of 5 feathers sold. That's gotta be really easy. Birds are kind of all throughout the map, basically. So it's basically kill any of those and get their feathers and sell them. Skinned as well with a fox set of bulls. Basically, same advice. Obviously, look up their locations for a single player. Compendium or something, or like Red Dead Phantom Wiki or something for like locations. 0.5 parasol mushrooms picked. Maybe do similar stuff to the skinning kind of for advice. Maybe if we're trying to find those. Anyways, in what, like real life or something, mushrooms usually grow in like dirt or something, I believe. So maybe try to think of like an area that's like a lot of dirt or something. That might be like a good location to try and find those or something. Something for a little guesswork. Possibly. And 0 out of 3 player headshot kills in free roam events. Again, I believe those are the purple things that pop up. Which again, you can get actually ahead of time information which ones will even happen from the from the Gene Rob collector map that yes is the link on GTAweb.eu as well if you use that for G-Town on. As I said. And then there's also the general player kills and free roam events, basically same kind of advice for the 6th one here. I don't think I want to go over the role ones. Like, to me, when it says daily challenges, it might mean more the general ones than, like, role ones. I feel they usually specify if it's, like, more, like, role required ones or something. If it were, basically. But yeah, these first two are easy. Player bounty, I probably wouldn't bother with that one too much. You need prestigious to get them as well. It's like $5-ish bucks. Like I kind of pop up, I think, briefly on the screen not long ago, actually. Otherwise, I think it's as high as something like 20-ish bucks or something if you have a basic license, whatever point you get the player bounties, basically. But yeah, the top thing is basically any of the like red dot animals, from my understanding, like a snake, like bears, that kind of stuff. Easy enough, technically. Especially snakes, I bet would be pretty easy. 06 to large animal carcasses would definitely be even easier. You could probably use something like a deer, like something even. Or maybe it has to be something larger than a deer or something. Not really sure if that would be like medium or something, but I'm not actually too sure on that one. But sounds real easy. And this one is basically like a speedrun one, or just don't take a billion years on it, basically. Which I think is pretty fine for the most part. Pretty fine for the most part on that one. The collector. Probably most sought after role ones to do, of course, for like this particular event. Just general free collectibles sold, family heirlooms, free fossils. I basically said all the advice for these already. And you have to. And yes, though. Madness are also, I think, shows up on the Gene Rock Collector map, obviously. Like, if you somehow do not have a like, location or something. But yeah, this Moonshine Wagon traveled on mission. Should be easy on longer, like, still location. That should be easy on like longer like sale locations or something. That's not like the small like one from like Heartlands or whatever over to like Emerald Station, like Ranch. Even if you do get that one, you probably just got the way to get more distance with it, I'm sure on that. And if you're careful, it might still just as easy of a time somehow. AKA that's like the shortest distance sale that I mentioned a lot. It's really good for Moonshine. 01 drink going strong moonshine sounds like that should be pretty straightforward. I'll do that. And yeah, you have to own the moonshine bar and then just dance for 2 minutes. Easy. Find a naturalist. So out of someone crafted or cooked at wilderness camp. Definitely easy. Easy. With some hunting, just do easy hunting, like cook. Basically. This one, if you're a streamer that talks a lot or something, or like can think of things to say and like has bodily issues with fucking body for something and all kind of stuff slowing down, then yeah, this one is pretty much easy as hell to get. You'll just automatically basically get it in that kind of case. But that might be kind of niche for all I know, but like just try to be lazy or something basically. Shouldn't be all that hard to do. And 02 Ultra Ammo was found using pheromones. Those might be able to cost kind of a bit. I don't know if that's worth it really too much. I mean, you can, I think, just straight up buy those, or you can also craft them if you have like the pamphlet. So it's easy enough once you know how to do that all, basically. So as for that bomb part, completing 2 daily challenges will also let you offer for tangle bars off any roll gating item. Which again, I think is the like, initiation items as they've called it over times before. But yeah, the regular bounty hunter license is really good for gold, like I said earlier, which could be one of the best choices to do, basically, if you still need that for some reason. Trader, I find, is basically, in my opinion, the worst one, being like the first of the two business ones. Moonshiner's a newer business, and it's probably made a lot better for that reason, basically. Collector, collector, like I've been saying a lot, basically. And yeah, by the way, this one's the butcher table for the item fiend, for like the roll gating item, whatever. And yeah, the collector's bag. Yeah, collector's really good. Basically the best money roll in the game, as I basically already said, all that kind of stuff. So 100% bounty hunter collector are probably the best two, if you need any of those two, for example. Treasure, I would say, is probably the worst one, or one of the worst ones. Moonshiner, again, being a newer business, I find that one to be pretty average. So it's fine if you have like other ones, especially bounty hunter collector to go for. For Moonshine, like Shack, basically. Basically. And now when you have like a location to choose for your shack, so I definitely recommend the Heartlands for that good emerald like random station sale, like I basically said earlier. And if I need a naturalist, like sample kit, whatever, is the newest of the roles. In my opinion, I like it better in Trader. I would say it's average to possibly below average. That's basically the way in which I try to go for some news, basically. Like, in kind of like the order or something, basically. I said I didn't go for order, I wouldn't like release order, but I like said which ones are better than like others, basically. And trade route, counter 8 free roam events. 3 times money XP, apparently. Okay, so what sounds like trade where you can get some goods for your trader business? Okay, interesting. But yeah, 3 times money doesn't necessarily equate to 3 times goods. By the way, for the thing, I think you probably just get the regular good amounts. But yes, though. 3 times money, even though goods can basically be converted to money, I believe 3 times money is just like some kind of like monetary payout that like all players get regardless of like getting the goods or not. I do not unfortunately believe they've ever done 3 times goods for like trade route or anything. Like say like business battles like Cheat Online, for example, unfortunately no. Fortunately no. And yeah, the XP, regular XP. For regular XP, you're probably just better doing the collector set sales easily. Yeah, the collector has the Condor Egg free roam event. Now, the thing with the Condor Egg, I believe it actually is a $1,000 collectible. So you might, for some reason, think that like they might give you like $3,000 if you somehow manage to get the Condor Egg. Since again, I think it's $1,000 for like Condor Egg or something if you somehow pull that one off. I think it's like a special collectible only available in the free roam event. That only like one player can get each run of it, basically. But no, I think it's probably just a standard like free roam event payout. Same thing like I was basically trying to mention with the trade route free roam event. And yeah, the base payouts are not necessarily that good unless you like win the free roam event, perhaps. I would probably have to imagine. Or like maybe like top 3 if like having a little bit of leniency with it, but even then probably not. I guarantee you're not giving you like a $3,000 Condor Egg. I'm pretty sure 3 times, yeah, just for basic payout for the free roam event. And again, there's our purple free roam. Again, there's our purple free roam events, which means you can go on the Gene Rock collector map that I was mentioning earlier, and you can like see what will show up before the game even like tells you, basically, so you're not like getting on the game like wasting time. Like maybe if you're like not even on the game, you can boot up the console or something, realizing that like it's going to be happening soon or something, and then play the game then or something. That's the ideal way to try to get those as much as possible for ones that are actually on free time, since there's like so many free roam events in the game. So definitely use the Gene Rock Collector map to try and know what those are, and like when they actually decide to happen, more so. So you're not just wasting hours in the game for like no reason, basically, or something. If you're only looking for like say the Condor Egg or something. Finally, for like the benefits section, finally, yes, for benefits section here, I just want to give you outfit, collector outfit of some kind. Fortunate for that to make you go for Rockstar Newswire. Yes, still unfortunate for that to do kind of make you refer to Rockstar Newswire. I always have to kind of do that. Uh, uh. And yeah, yes. Parent Alpha is by Victorian underscore Cowgirl from r/Red Dead Fashion subreddit. That's according to the Rockstar Newswire, since they almost never put the credits of the outfit on the actual like thing. I think on rare occasion they have done that, but usually they don't, so I figure it's worth mentioning that, of course. They give some credit where credit's due for where the idea for the outfit came from, for what the people who manage the game put in there, basically. Okay, holding left on D-pad for the catalog, of course, though. Of course, though. But going the same exact order for, like, what the, like, Newswire has it for, by the way. So it turns out Owen and Sheila had whatever. Owen. yes, so. Turns out the Owen and Sheila, like, Keela hat, whatever, is limited stock and is back for a limited time. One of those is even actually free. So yes, so. Variant number 7 is apparently the free variant. Which basically looks to be like a dark brown one or something, basically. Basically. Well, maybe like a darker brown or like kind of even like a black or something, like secondary or something. Also, looks like there's limited stock print on the Monasco hat, apparently. Oh, actually, also the Gardenia hat. Yeah, yes, okay, it does in fact say Gardenia hat. That's apparently in gold bars, so that's used for some gold if you are running off things used for gold, I suppose. Alright, this next one here is also into stock. It turns out for one of those options for free one for the Porter jacket. So the Porter jacket in general is back for like going to time for a month for August 2026. It looks like it's variant number 6, which basically is the same, if not similar, color to the other one. I feel like it's a lighter brown or something in addition to like dark. It sounds like a darker one or something. I like kind of a secondary kind of look. Yeah, that's what that one is. I've always had ones like 80-ish bucks for like 4 gold, which 4 gold is basically just inflated since there's no using nuggets on items. Like, there's nuggets for the UI, but you can't really just use pure nuggets. You always have to spend like pure gold, so what is usually like 80-ish kind of equates to like 100-ish more so in a way for the conversion, since 1 gold is 25, like one gold, yes, is $25. Alright, so next one depends on the gender of the character. That's the Anisha. That yes is the Anista shirtwaist, it looks like, for female characters. So I won't have that to show, of course, since it's female only. But apparently the everyday shirt here. It's apparently variant number 20. It is, yes, apparently a variant number 20, like some brownish, like tannish kind of looking one, it looks like. For the male, like, option here, basically. Basically. Next into vests, apparently. But apparently. This one will be for all genders of characters, apparently. Apparently, though. On a side, on yes, a side note, does a Cardozo vest is apparently available for limited stock for August 2026. Looks like on average they go for like 4 gold to get like $100 for the gold cash conversion. So some kind of traditional vest here apparently for all genders of characters on this item. It's kind of like brownish one, of course, so like brown striping or something too. Looks like. Looks like. Onto pants, whatever up next. Apparently looks like there's a general sale on the pants, whatever in particular. Interesting. So I'll have to be on more of a lookout for this one. Apparently it is the Bandito pants, and that's for all genders characters once again. That's variant number 8, apparently, or the brown variant, basically. Basically. Hemp beats apparently looks like it would depend on the gender of character once again. Just like this shirt. So it looks like it's the Boyer boots. Yes, looks like the Boyer boots, whatever, for female characters. And I'll get to the one for male characters there, of course. Of course. Which looks like it's the Dunsinen boots or something. And it looks like kind of black / dark brown, like variant over here, variant number 7 for 31. So like almost $60 or $59.50. Because obviously it's kind of part of that outfit thing, so that's why that particular one will be free. Alright, got that. Apparently for 0.1 gold. Let's see, and yes. Also doing an XP. Cool, I guess. I actually went too far because of that being distracting. I'll be honest. And finally, last but not least, for accessories, neckwear's neckerchief of some kind for all genders of characters. So if $18.50 thing, it is going to instead be free, obviously, on this kind of like lightish brownish, like tannish one, basically, for variant number 8. Or no, not variant number 8. There is 8 variants. I mean, variant number 7, excuse me. By the way, if you still need telegrams, you can collect those from local post office or the camp lockbox. And then you have to open the satchel for the documents section or something. Oh, but yeah, I think you can also launch them through the menu with like left on D-pad. But maybe you have to do it that one way for the satchel first. So I'm not 100%. If for some reason you have like unclaimed ones or something that you have not like received before. Again, as a reminder, new source of employment telegram missions are not awarding free times gold, as it said earlier. Just another reminder on that. I think I basically mentioned everything I wanted for collector set sales. Oh, it's on the free time stuff anyways, so. Yeah, I talked about the two, like, 50% off items for collector roll, basically. Yes, so I basically did already talk about the two, like, items that help with the collector roll being half off. Alright, and there's also some daily kind of stuff as well. Looks like for kind of that frontiersman outfit kind of thing, kind of around there. Might not be directly related to that. Might just be some like weekly kind of like stuff you can earn. That's not necessarily related to the outfit though. So kind of go back to there. It's not as confusing with what I'm talking about. I suppose, or something though. So yes, so there's more paragraphs after the first two paragraphs for this section on the news water specifically. And for the subsequent 4 paragraphs, at least for then, is tied to some weekly thing you can get. So for the first week, I get right now, since I'm streaming for August 9th, August 4th to 10th, collectors rank 10 or higher can log in to receive the Frontiersman pants, whatever, and belt. Collect a fossil apparently as well for that week. Will let you receive the blue Vaquero Baroque spurs. Kind of for the week 2 for the next paragraph here, August 11th to 17th. Again, collectors rank 10 or higher can log in and I'll get the Frontiersman boots and half chops, whatever. And complete your collector daily challenges apparently for that week to receive a reward for the North Klingman treasure map. Treasure maps get you like a bit of money and like some gold. Like money, I feel could be like maybe almost like even $200 on occasion, like the 190s, maybe or something, and then like gold can be like as high as like almost maybe 2 gold bars, at like 1.9ish or something like that. Kind of around those ranges, I believe. A lot of times it can very much be less, but I think that's kind of like usually the highest points or something. Which in most cases is kind of unlikely, pretty sure. And yeah, collector daily challenges I feel are usually all going to be very easy, basically, especially if you use that Gene Rock collector map I was talking about earlier, obviously. Obviously, same with the fossil for the last week I was talking basically as well. Alright, apparently the later ones for the week 3 to week 4 apparently require rank 20 even. So August 18th to August 24th to week 3, rank 20 collectors can log in to receive the Frontiersman shirt and suspenders. And then complete the weekly collection apparently for that week will let you receive a reward for a free shirt. Alright, so like the week 1 apparently it's just cosmetic clothing items, so like week 2 looks to be the most worth it so far of what I've spoke of basically about a way. And week 4 seems to be another pretty worthwhile one. For the final week, week 4, August 25th, August 31st. Yes, August 25th, August 31st. Again, rank 20 collectors can log in to receive the Frontiersman Neckerchief. Yes, Frontiersman Neckerchief login reward at rank 20 for collector. And apparently, if you win in the featured series, you'll be able to receive a reward for the Burn Town treasure map. So if you win in a featured series, apparently at the week 4 like featured series, you'll be able to get another treasure map like the week 2. That was for the collector daily challenges. So the even weeks are basically the better weeks to do it if you're going to pick and choose specific ones only or something. Alright, so I think for limited stock things, I actually saw all of them, but like the chaps chops, whatever, I think though. But earlier I was mostly going over the, like, monthly community outfit things. I might just go over those again, of course, in this, like, own section for the most part. Yeah, Griffith chaps apparently limited stock. General sale going on, it looks like, for chaps as well as a category, so you'll even be able to get those cheaper for the whole month as well. More details on the discount in a bit, though, still. And yeah, I'm going newswire order by the way from, like, top left to, like, bottom right, basically. Alright, so maybe the last 4 get more expensive. Or like 50 to 30 with the discount, like 94 to like 50 with the discount, looks like. The hat one's up next. Apparently here, which I basically already showed, like, kinda for the most part. Yeah, I think it was really just a cap one that was new, basically, that I didn't show earlier. I think it said 2 for limited stock, but for some reason there was like an extra one. Maybe Onjiwa hat was brought back because of the, like, alpha thing or something. Yes. In that last part, like, the frontiersman, like, outfit, like, paragraph sections of the Rockstar Newswire, like, the last part, that kind of whole, like, section of the Newswire does list the, like, limited stock clothing items, and it doesn't mention the Ongila hat, so... Ongila, Onhila, whatever. Yeah, $119.50, as for, of course, free one over the outfit. It's not directly tied to the section, I guess kind of just a bonus one to tie with the outfit, basically, for the weekly. Or no, the monthly communion outfit. Monthly communion outfit. Yes, I saw people for the last fucking time. My stupid body for the stomach running would quit being annoying as fuck, basically. You know. So atrocious and everything. Looks like $119.50 for all the ones. Size for, of course, free one for the outfit. But yeah, it seems to be a bonus one for the monthly community outfit being brought back. So it wasn't in the list of like 5 being brought back. Yeah, the Monasco hat is back. All of them being like $154.25 for month of August 2026. Gardenia hat. Probably are all 6 gold bars, so they basically all $150 if you convert to like gold to cash. Except you have to spend gold. You're not allowed to do the $150, unfortunately. Like whatsoever. Porter Jacket says limited stock, but it seems to be even a different one for what's listed. So again, this one could be a bonus one like Sheila, like Hila, whatever. Just for mostly for sakes of the monthly community outfit, but they give all the options available again, not just like free one or something. So like more option ones. I don't feel I'm really seeing up into stock on here though, and those usually seem to be put right in the front basically. So if I don't see it, which I don't really think I did, but the lighting's kind of bad right now in the game, so like I don't know. If I was seeing one that was like went to stock instead of like more options or something. But I don't see on there, so maybe it's a female exclusive or something. I don't know. Though. It is the common code, which didn't look like it was in there, so maybe female exclusive for the common code. Yeah, so just Cardozo vest after that, apparently. Apparently, if we're going to stock, the ones are like 4 gold bars. And actually, let me go back to the code one. I don't know if I showed all the options as much earlier. A for 86, 25, 850. I mean, some are 4 gold, okay, like $100. They're basically inflated ones, and gold cash conversion, you can only spend whole gold bars, not nuggets. And right, alright, vests. But it looks like 4 gold bars basically for each option. So basically $100 if you were able to use cash for a conversion. Or even if not, that's basically a conversion. They're basically $100 vests. Alright, looks like don't really have anything new to say for the trade route, Ruru, or Counter Egg Freeroom events. So, featured series, I don't think showed up earlier, so I'll have to cover that then. Basically, week 1 looks like a hardcore kind of thing. Looks like already. Then to online menu. Talk about all of them, but obviously the first one will really be on here for this stream. And there's no sense in doing like streams for other weeks when barely anything changes to warrant doing more streams. But it's Hardcore Elimination Series for August 4th to August 10th for the week 1. Every single one is also 3 times money and XP. Each one, yes, has also 3 times money and XP. Not gold though, unfortunately. Which gold might be one of the better things you could maybe get out of it if they did 3 times gold on those. But like, yeah, even then, it would have the telegrams for gold, which are probably just going to be better. Even if that were to have been the case. But these are basically kind of like the adversary moves, I would say, from GTA Online for Red Dead Online. So like, Same kind of thing applies, I feel. They're more modes of fun rather than like serious money making like kind of modes. Not really gonna be most serious for XP. You want both of those, just stick to collector set sales for the most part, I would say. The elimination, bow and handful of arrows, throwing knives or ancient tomahawk. The last one standing. And hardcore is apparently no ability cards, no consumables. No ability cards, in my opinion, definitely kind of sucks, but I don't really borrow consumables, so I always comment like that part of it. People how consumables spam, good for them, I guess, if they know to do that much, but like, kind of takes some of the fun out of the game if it when you have to spend more time or like some of your time like eating, drinking stuff instead of like actual combat. I feel sometimes where I just never bother myself personally, but personally, I feel it's a lot clunkier of a system than like GTA's snack system, for example. For example. But yeah, apparently weeks 1 and 4 are hardcore. So yeah, it was for August 4th, August 10th, week 1. Like right now, basically, since I'm streaming August 9th. Week 2, August 11th, August 17th is Takeover Series, whatever that will end up being. I'm not really too sure though. Week 3 apparently is August 18th to August 24th. Which apparently is the Explosive Series. So surely that's obviously going to use a bunch of explosive weaponry, obviously as the name would imply. And finally, week 4, August 25th, August 31st is going to be the Hardcore Pro Series, whatever that ends up being. Alright, so I think I basically made the discounts, and now it'll basically be like the weekly collection, I think, and that's basically it. Basically it. So pretty much, like, most of the whole discount list is going to be only viewable on Rockstar News, where you're not going to see much sides for the two. Basically, I already covered earlier with the, like, benefits section or whatever with this motor detector, paint, and field shovel. Like, those two were mentioned elsewhere. Of course, I saw a couple clothing ones as well on the way with some stuff too. Like, obviously, there's other discounts too that haven't been mentioned just yet. Fast travel was apparently waived for the event month, so fast travel fees are waived between August 4th and 31st. Collector's bag is apparently 5 gold bars off. And by the way, I didn't mention the costs, but the ones that came out with Frontier Pursuits, oh, I didn't also mention Prestigious License. I forgot to mention that one actually when I was going over like the role, like gating items as they called it this time, which I think are the initiation, like items to get into a role for the first time. But yeah, Prestigious License is basically just a further step of the regular bounty license, giving you like a couple extra legendary bounties. When you're rank 30, you can get Bounty Hunter Experience Award, which turns any excess like Bounty Hunter Experience into like $100 in like a gold bar or something like that, or something, if I remember right, at a certain time, or a certain amount like accumulated, whatever. Player bounties going from like $25, for example, I mentioned. So there is certainly at least maybe a couple nice things or something, but like, you don't get too much more out of Prestigious License that you don't already basically from the original license. If you didn't necessarily want to get that one or something, if you're like newer to the game or something. But anyways, the regular license is 15 gold for the regular Bounty Hunter license. Yeah, trader like butcher table, and that's 15 gold, and collector's bag is 15 gold as well. And yeah, seeing a discount for the collector's bag made me remember I forgot to mention those like values. So yeah, collector's bag is normally 15 gold minus 5 to 10, so it's basically 33.3% off discount for the gold. And in fact, at least I see like $125 for the gold bar, like conversion cost for 5 gold, basically, or whatever. So it's kind of like a free $75 thing to like $250 in a sense if you were able to spend cash instead of gold for some reason, or just a node conversion just cause or whatever. Alright, but yeah, to the rest of them, since again I accidentally forgot to cover the other ones. I forget when like the prestigious license released. I guess I'll go over that one now, but that's also 15 gold, so both licenses actually for Bounty Hunter are actually like 30 gold together technically normally. So yeah, again, keep in mind you can get 10. Again, keep in mind you can actually get 10 gold, I believe, off of any of those kind of role initiation, like role gain items. Again, I assume that's what they mean of role gain items, just starting items for the rolls. So 15 gold for both bounty licenses, so yeah, basically you can get either of those for like 5 of that one offer thing I was talking about like earlier, whatever you can unlock. And then, yeah, the newer ones, the Moonshiner, like Naturalist, they increased from like 15 to 25 for those two particular ones. So 10 gold on those is basically the 15. So sorry I forgot to mention that earlier. I just remembered about that kind of with the collector's bag being a 5 gold discount. I forgot to actually go over the values of each one. But my advice from earlier, of course, still applies, so. Of course, so. Despite that. Collector's maps are apparently 50% off, apparently. So again, if you use the Gene Rock collector map, like I was mentioning, like on Google or whatever search engine you use, like low key, you don't necessarily really even need to use those for a 50% discount when you're just going to use like a map anyways on like a search engine, like browser, like a web browser or something. So I find that one personally to be like a waste. However, though, like if you didn't want to like go on like a web browser or something, look up that, and you actually wanted to do it the more genuine way of like buying the maps, you can do that with 50% off at least. I think maps give you free collectible items of the type basically when you buy the like stuff basically. Basically. Yeah, for the most part, they're not worth it, and you can just find them on your own accord through the Gene Rock collector map pretty easily. Which again also is linked on gtweb.eu if you use that one for like G-Town on. The half off metal detector I basically already spoke about earlier because it already appeared in the benefit sections. I'm not going to cover that one again, but it's really good. Ability cards are apparently 50% off. There are so many of those, I don't know if I feel like mentioning all those like I kind of do. Especially with GTA 6, we have the Code and Fuck Ass box and this whole like Netflix thing, all the Ultimate Edition, like $20 I think, lock select shops if you don't get the like Ultimate Edition or whatever. So it's all like mod shops exclusive to Ultimate Edition, all that whole fiasco bull. In a sense, it now kind of got to like a strike-free kind of system. I feel. So I kind of, in a way, want to not have to go over these too much. It's just like so many of these to cover. But taking damage, canceling the Deadeye, I feel it's a big downside for getting health back. Yeah. R1s don't deactivate when you get shot. So I don't know if that's going to be the greatest. Yeah, that's when you pretty much have to communicate with other people in your team or something, it looks like. So I feel that could be a bit too much hassle unless you're, say, playing in like free mode. Obviously, if you're playing with like randoms, it's not going to be too good. Or something. So I feel like that could be too much micromanagement to make it kind of pretty meh. Painted Black, I think it's basically the single player Deadeye from like Red Dead Redemption and like Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Revolver have like the same kind of Deadeye. It might have basically had the same Deadeye, but like had like different look to like the reticle stuff or something, I believe, or something. Something. So basically, it's the same as a single player Deadeye for Painted Black or for any game from the Red Dead series, including Revolver, basically, I'm pretty sure. At least for the basic Deadeye, it has, at least. So yeah, obviously being a single player one, you might be able to be pretty used to that one. It's pretty good for that reason, I feel. That's an option. Taking damage during it, taking damage during Deadeye and also not run sprint. I feel there's too many downsides in that one, in a sense. Again, that's kind of like a micromanaging one for like health instead of like damage, what you feel the damage on. If you had to choose between those, it'd be better. So you would have to communicate with your team or something each time for that kind of thing. I feel it's just like too much micromanagement to want to do for something like that. But yeah, like significantly less accurate for enemies. That might just mean player versus enemy, but maybe even player versus player. I'm not actually too sure on that. And your accuracy is significantly reduced. Rate at which it drains is dramatically increased. And yeah, I noticed like you can see like the upgrades and the text differences, but like really it's only one little part that like kind of updates or something. Each thing's not gonna mention like or show like all the upgrades or any of that. I think it even just said it was like basic ability cards, like the initial purchase of them or something. But yeah, accuracy one actually low-key things on the better ones asides for Paint Black. If you had to do something different than that. Oh yeah, that one has its downsides too, but I think I heard that one's like one of the better ones. And combat abilities. Dual wielding with ranged weapons do a little more damage and are a little more accurate. Like if you're dual wielding, you're already basically losing accuracy. So even with more accuracy, you're not going to have as much accuracy as say like a long arm or something like Evans Repeater, or like especially like a sniper rifle or something. So I don't know if that one's that worth it, quite frankly. And a little more damage, you know, like the close mid ranges. I don't know if that'll matter too much. If people are smart, they'll try to do like long range combat. I'm guessing more than close and mid, anyways. So, like I don't really know that that's necessarily that good. Deal a little more damage while on horseback. Kind of depends on the content you're doing. Like I feel it's fine enough for a lot of like player versus like enemy content, but for other player versus player, you really want to be on your horse top much. So like a player would probably actually go out the way to kill the horse. I don't really see that being that good. Like I have it in a sense. So like I've kind of found it kind of good. Again, for like purposes like enemy content, not purpose player though. Sharpshooter one here. While using a scope, you deal a little more damage and take a little less damage. Feel definitely is a better upgrade than Gunslinger's Choice. Feel, in a sense, having like a lot more range accessibility and all that kind of stuff. Or something. But yeah, you probably do kind of like linear, like close range, in a sense, especially having to go into like the scope view and all that stuff. Well, unless the character's like right against your barrel or something. Closer death, like more damage, just way too risk reward. I feel for that one has to be mostly worth considering. Like honestly, yeah. What even is this window? Waiting for up to 15 seconds between shots, so it increases your damage. It's called Landon's Patience, which I think is supposed to be a reference to what's that one character? I kind of forget actually, but I played Red Redemption on the channel. Might have been in like the Mexico sections if I remember right. But I think that's the name of that character. Maybe there's like some like lore reason behind it, but yeah. Besides for like the lore connections, it's really not that good. Waiting long between shots to increase your damage, not really gonna be that good. In most cases, you're not gonna be able to have like 15 seconds between shots. I'm sure. Like most cases, you're gonna be doing combat like all for all. It's not going to necessarily be too helpful if you're in like a showdown mode or something, for example. A short game one here, you deal a little more damage to targets closer, but less targets further away. Good if you want to go hollow like guns blazing, you only like attack characters like when they're like next to you, like kind of same thing I was mentioning with like the wheeled one. You kind of really actually want that like long range for the most part. Keep your distance, not get shot as much, basically, or something. So yeah, the damage penalty farther away isn't really gonna be that good. I feel there's already even like a damage penalty when you shoot further away, even without like the ability card. So I would just make that even more of a thing. I don't think that sounds that good. Depends on very situational usage. Hangman 1. Your lasso chokes your enemies, doing a little damage to them for every second they're lassoed. And yeah, he's really going to be using a lasso for the most part over like an actual gun. I don't know if that's going to happen. Plus, I feel that would be counterintuitive of bounty hunting unless it doesn't go against like bounties in a kind of way or something. That was out of like Frontier Pursuits, of course, with the roll update, with the initial rolls. But I feel that one just became more and more counterintuitive as like the game went on a little bit. I don't really see that being good. And winning streak for you, probably one of the better ones here, yeah. Each consecutive shot on the same target does more damage than the last. Damage bonus ends if target not shot within seconds. Consecutive, does that mean you have to do it in like a row? Maybe. Oh, it's like not shot for 10 seconds. But you might still have to, like within those 10 seconds, not hit like another enemy for the damage bonus. If I'm reading right with consecutive, I'm not really too sure on that actually. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. It seems like the realistic way to expect it. I feel that's kind of opposite of Landon's Patience, where you want to be shooting like targets like as much as possible. So like basically being the opposite of Landon's Patience, I think makes it like arguably one of the best ones. Basically. Like I think that's basically the best combat ability. recovery ability is up next. Come back stronger 1. Health regenerates faster and your health begins regenerating a little sooner after you take damage. Oops. Yeah. I feel if you're careful, depending on like the combat situations and stuff, I feel your regeneration is fine enough, quite frankly. I must consider it kind of to be fine though, like initially, if it's like already like can be upgraded by me, all that stuff basically. It's like, there's definitely much better ones, I'm guessing. Guessing. Iron Lung 1, stamina regenerates faster. Takes out less damage to pay on the current stamina level. So what, do you have to have that with like full? Doesn't really say there's a like downside if like you have like lower stamina, like you might end up taking more damage than you do like normally without like just kind of a build card on it like at all. But it's not very good for like move and shoot situations. I feel this one would only be that good when in like cover. But like there might be enough situations in the game I feel where you might want it more so move and shoot, so you're not like a sitting duck basically or something. So kind of a hard one to recommend the most for the most part. I feel. Kicking the butt 1. Whenever you take damage, a small portion of it's added to Deadeye. If I want more use out of Deadeye and more use out of Deadeye ability, it's a good support ability for that at least. Like, really, I feel Deadeye for most part can earn fine enough if you're just going for shooting enough like headshots, all that kind of stuff, basically. I didn't live for the fight 1. You apparently generate Deadeye very slowly over time. So you can basically just get it by waiting instead of having to like earn it with like kills and stuff, it looks like. Again, could be a good support ability if you want to like use your Deadeye ability cards more, I suppose. It's not the worst, depending on like what you're kind of going for. Basically. And ride it like the wind 1. Apparently, whenever you take or deal damage while mounted, a small proportion of it's added to a horse's health and stamina. You can literally click you. At least for stamina, you can literally click the stick pretty easily to like manage the stamina. So like stamina, I find it's pretty pointless for. And if you're using like a war horse or something, those already have like pretty nice health, I feel. Or if it has like maximum health possible, even if it's say like somehow not a war horse. I really don't think you need the extra little bit of health in either per se. I feel this one has to be one of the most useless of those recovery abilities, I would say, if not even. Since again, you might not even be on horseback that much in combat situations. Player versus enemy, maybe, but player versus player, I feel most player versus player cases you're probably never going to want to be on horseback. Because you're not going to necessarily want your horse to get killed by a player or something. It could also limit some of your more free movement you would have like on foot, of course, for like like player versus like player combat or whatever. Peak condition freeze seems to be the one I seem to like. Where sprinting uses less stamina. Sprinting uses less stamina. But you deal much more damage depending on the current stamina level. I kinda said in enough cases you might want to like move and shoot, but like say you're doing something like a call to arms or something where you need to like good survivability or something, somehow with like a good spot to comp. Cases like that, you can definitely use this one very, very well. And it's not like the Confine enough, so that's why I pretty much use this one. Like Confine to be like the best one, or one of the best ones at least. Because a lot of players like enemy content might have like a good amount of like cover you might be able to use as well or something, to where you're not going to be moving around really too much. But then I4 and I1, killing an enemy with a headshot restores a little Deadeye. Do you not already get like Deadeye from like headshots and stuff? I kind of forget. If on single player, you do at least. At least in the original Red Dead Redemption. I'm not talking Red Dead Revolver in this particular case, but yeah, like 2010 Red Dead Redemption, I feel that was very much the case. Maybe it's an even further boost to a normal boost or something. Somehow or something. If I am remembering like a normal boost, right, or something though. Pretty sure Deadeye's supposed to reward like your accuracy, like your kills and stuff, for the normal ways of getting it or something. If you don't want to like use consumable support or something though. Again, kind of specs well in a sense if you want to like boost your Deadeye like further, like some of the other ones. Headshot you gotta be more accurate for. You gain damage might happen more than gain like headshots itself, and over time might literally be more useful. Yeah, it could be the worst of those free Deadeye ones actually. Actually though. And I for an I1, yeah. I was talking about that one already, right now. Alright, then the Gift of Focus one. Apparently his items and abilities which are stored Deadeye have the effects slightly improved. So specs while some of the other ones it improves the Deadeye. Like restores it. And yeah, as for the items, you have to be using those like Mad Insane. You say you do use those as like hardcore modes or something, for example, for hella different consumables, all that stuff. I mean, me, I don't really find that to be too much of a fun way to play or something. No. And Strange Medicine 1. Apparently, as you regain a little health whenever you inflict damage. Health otherwise regenerates at half the normal rate. Most of these only have like a huge downside, so like that one's pretty bad, I would say. I feel that is the only one that has like a clear downside. I feel losing your general like recovery rate is just too much of a hindrance, honestly. I probably wouldn't do this one. And finally, Cold-Blooded one. For recovery abilities. After killing an enemy, you will regain a little health over the next 3 seconds. This one sounds like you're gonna have to like dish out a bunch of damage, and that's a huge downside. So like, in general, just for killing an enemy, it doesn't have to be a headshot. You gain health over the next 3 seconds, which already sounds better in this one. Cool, I guess. Cool, I guess. Following defense abilities, whatever. Fool me once one. Take a little less damage each consecutive time shot. And if you're not shot for 10 seconds, so similar to that one like combat one or whatever. It's like the opposite of the Linen's patience, but for defense. It applies to you instead of like an enemy. Or something. Again, with cover being a thing, like, you may be able to just avoid consecutive shots, like, often. Like, you should not be, if you're playing a game of deal, you should not be getting shot, like, hella, like, free, or, like, at least more than, like, 3 times, I feel. Or, like, a couple times, and, like, a little spur of the moment or something, though. So I feel because cover's a thing, you probably don't really want to run that one. It's kind of just avoid being shot with cover anyways. Friends for life one after that. While mounted, you and your horse take a little less damage. Again, maybe player versus player. I mean, again, maybe player versus enemy, you can be on horseback enough to maybe use something like this. Somehow. Really depending on like what you do for player versus enemy, I suppose. But like I said, like the horse health I feel was pretty fine without these kind of boosts, and like player health I feel too, even just make sure you use like some stuff already or something, even. I don't really think I like that one too much. Too much. And strength in numbers 1. Apparently you take a little less damage for every nearby ally up to a maximum of 3. So you would have to play in like a team every single time, like and micromanage all that kind of stuff, like some of the other ones I was kind of mentioned earlier, with like effect stacking, all that kind of stuff. I find it a little similar to that avenue. So unless you're like the biggest team player out there, I just really not recommend this one. At least this one doesn't have like that does not stack things. So like, this one is probably in a better case scenario compared to the other two I was mentioning earlier for something. Like in the Deadeye section, I think it was. Yes, for sure. Alright, the one ice going to be using for the most part is the next one here, Hunger Down Free, where you take much less damage while on cover. Again, a lot of combat situations, like, you might very much be able to get cover in a lot of player versus, like, enemy combat situations for the most part. I feel you can oftentimes get cover to make this one pretty worthwhile. And then the one after is to fight another day 1, where you take a little less damage from bullets while sprinting. If you're moving and shooting like a lot, which I kind of said earlier, I feel you could kind of do oftentimes, depending like what you're doing. And yeah, I could see this one being nice. But also with how limited sprinting can be and stuff, you probably shouldn't be going out to wait and put yourself in a situation there much anyways. Then Blinking Eye 1 after that one. Is Deadeye and Eagle Eye drain a little slower? Yeah, this one can spec well obviously with the Deadeye ability card very well. Very much so, very much so. Like a bunch of recovery ones could, for example. This very well could be the only defense one that works that way. At least for now, at least for now. Eagle Eye, on the other hand, that's where you like can find like bounty targets and stuff, following your trail and stuff. Pretty sure. Eagle Eye, I already feel is pretty decent length enough. Plus, you can always easily just toggle back on after like 5-10 seconds or something. To where I do not mind like Eagle Eye at the current implementation, even without any like modifier or something. So I think that only really helps that Eagle Eye is kind of a pointless one if it were to have Drain slower when I feel already lasts decent enough. I think it's the only thing that impacts Eagle Eye at all of these cards, so I guess if you wanted that for someone, then it could be interesting. But yeah, I don't feel it's all that essential even. Apparently take the pain away one is whenever you revive someone, you both take a little less damage for the next 8 seconds. For only 8 seconds, I've also, like, again, it's a huge team one. It's kind of one of those ones to where it's going to really depend on, like, what you're doing. So unless you're like the biggest friend player, probably wouldn't bother with this one too much. If you're more a lone wolf, definitely do not like do this at all. And a single purpose one for the penultimate defense ability here. You take a little less damage from bullets while unarmed or using a melee weapon. Yeah, why would you want to be unarmed or using melee? Like basic melee weapons. For like less damage from bullets. Just to reward like close range, make close range easier. Like I don't really see that much of an application for it, given like how often like characters are going to move around in both player versus player and player versus enemy, and obviously they're going to have like guns and be at least accurate like enough basically. So I really just do not see a point of that one, really don't. And finally, one I do see kind of at all still is Never Felt 1-1, where the hat will block a headshot and fall off, but you do take more damage without a hat. Like it's very good if you want to like survive like a headshot, but otherwise, not really. So unless they're like micromanaging your hat or like somebody else or like something where that can very much be an advantage right now or something, then yeah, so be it, so be it. And yeah, if I'm saying weird things, sorry about that. I'm pretty tired right now. I don't even actually think I slept really much today. Cause that Pokemon Go that I do walking for since nobody was helping me do A's in my weekly challenge apparently. Fucking the family members of my family just don't even be bothering basically. But I talked about the painting field shovel. Yes, I already did talk about the painting field shovel. Alright, couple horse types, basically. I think one's a more normal type of horse, while one I think is like a roll horse. Pretty sure. What horses attack? That's probably what base game horses are, basically. Or at least ones that do not categorize as gold, basically. Or no, not gold, I mean, or ones that do not classify as roll horses, I mean. Or to rolls of the game. Yes. Discount your 950. So these go for quite a bit. It looks like no matter which one you get. Stats are likely to be pretty good then. Huh. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one you get. Some are like 900 to 500 ish. With 40% off discount. It's almost like $400 or $80 off. For these two, the Amber Champagne, Champagne, whatever. All. Sort of Doppel Pinto. Somewhere between $1,125 to $675. So like $450 off or something. Basically. For just 1 year for Blue Roan. You can have like 45 gold to like 27 gold. Yeah, 1,125 is basically 45 gold, it looks like, too, yeah. Each gold bar is 675, so I guarantee 27 is 675, yeah. Yeah, 3 more would be 750, pretty sure. That equates very well for gold without getting ripped off there, see. The stats are the same basically anyways. In the case of Black Toguro there. And finally, the Buckskin Brindle and the Dapple Gray seem pretty much the same as Blue Roan for cost effectiveness wise and stuff. So you might as well just stick with the first two if you're looking for like a cheaper one. They all seem to basically just have the same stats anyways. So looks like you get 6 and then 5 are like standard enough. At level 0 slash level 1 bondage. And only like plus 3 more. That's 9 and then 8. So you're actually not getting 10 on either of those two, which isn't necessarily the greatest. But you actually are getting some pretty nice speed, it looks like. And then I guess looking alright for acceleration. Besides for all that more hidden like speed stat that you can't see in as much menus and like in as many game moments as like the more important thing is that the stamina health like pretty much seems to be the like same kind of thing or something, whatever. And yes, stand handling. But the more hidden like speed stat is really the one good thing going for them. So like I kind of probably should just get something better, honestly. For the stamina or health. I'm guessing collector, since it seems to be the huge like, thing going on for like roll stuff right now. For Crayola. Alright, yes, indeed. So, this one is like 4 and free. Looks like for student health, with plus free being 7-6. And yeah, speed and acceleration. Speed's kind of average, acceleration's ass. Steering handling. Whatever though. So the Dun and Blue Roan overall are just not going to be that good, unfortunately. They are the earliest the ones. They're the novice horses, pretty sure, for collector. And then, like, Sorrel. Overall, and like Bay Brindle are both apparently very much look like look yeah, it's both basically look like okay, come on, get out there, you're on, chill, come on, man, come on, man. Yes, Raul, Overo, and the Bay Brindle are basically the established ones, I think, is the section for like collector. It's only like a little bit better. It's on an 8 and 7, and it looks like for the stamina health. Like a +1 to both the speed acceleration. So close to average on the acceleration finally, and then the speed even becomes like maybe a little above average even. But obviously you don't really want to get those ones. For rewards, you always pretty much want to wait till like the last ones. Looks like 380 basically though off for like the horse here basically though. And yeah, 6 and then 5. So what? It looks like you're getting 9 and 8. So I think you're actually getting the same like stamina health as you did for like the Surrey Foxtrotters, whatever, like I was on earlier for the other horse discounts. With nice speed, and I think this one might be better on this origin, or basically might even be some a lot of the same stats, even. So it's definitely not the most effective like roll horses, and roll horses some of the later horse editions will tend to have some better stats. Like Norfolk Roadsters, I think, are some of the best for speed and acceleration, for example, for like Moonshiners. And was Trader one kind of good in one of the like cores? I'm trying to remember at least. Some of the later, like maybe Natros one could even be like kind of good. I forget. Like yeah, I feel they're both very similar actually for the two types for the most expensive ones for like where they are stat wise, basically though. And next is weapon discount stuff, and then finally it will be like the final discounts on like clothes, and you have to have the collection cover. cover. Get a rare shotgun. It's basically double barrel shotgun, but it's like a rare version, like a different like looking version. Not really that good. It might actually be fully functional double barrel in like GTA It's like Joke of One where it shoots like both at a time, regardless of like how you tap the trigger. Like I think it works like Red Dead Redemption, like the first Red Dead Redemption, so it's probably based on the trigger, I would assume. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong or something. It's basically just another look to the double barrel. It's not really that good as such for just rarity or like something or different cosmetics. Sidearm shotgun is the one sidearm shotgun, so yes, indeed. Sidearm shotgun is the one like sidearm shotgun. You can get two of them even because of that. So yeah, pretty interesting. Definitely one of the more interesting shotguns being the one like sidearm shotgun. I think for sure. There's the regular double barrel shotgun, which again I don't really think is the greatest for similar ones. Pump. Currently get for free with the ultimate editions and the craziest acts, I would say. I feel the Ultimate Edition ones, besides for like Violent Rifle, I feel like the other ones are not really the most used. I feel. Could be wrong though. And semi-auto and then repeating is basically sound like an automatic shotgun. But yeah, those are very dependent on like firing modes. Especially repeating shotguns is probably real good. But it's like the most expensive is the semi-autos, so like I think both these are basically the best two basically to use. That's not the sawed-off or like sawed-on one. And also the style customizations are on discount as well for those, by the way. But yeah, it's half off the weapon discount. Their shotguns are half off. Yes, someone said the shotgun style customizations. And I ended up seeing 2 free clothing discounts already. I'll basically just be reiterating those from earlier. Besides for like one more to cover. Cover. But yeah, chops, whatever. oh, oh. Yes, man. Autos are 40% off. And pants. 40% off all across the board as well for a much larger category and probably largest of the categories. Finally, ponchos apparently turns out to be the other one for the 40% off discounts. So there's only like 7 more categories of ponchos even. Interesting. Looks like stream's still good. Okay, awesome. Cause like it's pretty much done. Pretty much getting done here.
Howdy there. Welcome.
Alright, so apparently it's the last tooth collection, apparently for the weekly collection for week 1. I think there's some like valuable items that are like gold tooths, for example, so like, at least one would be a valuable, not a traditional collectible. I'm definitely certain on that. Which might end up kind of lowering overall value, unfortunately. Because not being an actual collectible, that would
Glad to see
basically
some decent
mean
folk
you're
passing
not
through
getting
town.
some free times money out of it, as far as I understand. Because free times money is only going to be for like your general like collectibles, right? So that might end up kind of hearing that yes, very much might in fact then end up hindering the value of the collector's set for the weekly one there, of course. So
Always folk coming and going, but I'm stuck right here.
and yeah, sometimes if it can like glitch out where it shows on the UI like there's nothing, but like look just in case, because I think I've had it glitch before where there is in fact something like in here or whatever, contrary to what it suggests. I was wondering like why I'm in here, basically.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, looks like that actually was true yet now, but I feel an idea like repeater ammo sometimes, like for example, for some reason, like it won't be lit
So
up
long.
and then
Remember,
it's way
train's
more
always
so to
running.
do it. But one day, 17 hours. Yes, one day, 17 hours, 48 minutes left. That's what I'm doing is. Cougar vein, upper tooth fossil, and an alligator tooth. Okay, so actually two of them are animal ones. It's not like the valuable, like gold tooth I see. Yeah, cougars. Cougars, I feel you find them like in certain dedicated like spots, especially when you're traveling the map where one will like try to attack you. Like kind of like the top of like the old part, like West Elizabeth, like before you get to like Blackwater, for example. I think it's like a good spot, for example, or something. Like the older part, like West Elizabeth from like Red Dead Redemption 1 from like 2010, basically. Again, I know Revolver exists, but yeah, I'm talking Red Dead Redemption specifically for those two. Innocence and Innocence. But this is just this one here, yes, is the one that's an actual collectible. And it is fossil, so it's fully underground. Which means you might not even get it even if you dig up every single like fossil of the type it is. And an alligator. Just go to like Lagras, like the swamp areas, you'll find it was super easy there. So these animal ones are definitely gonna be pretty easy to get, I would say. It's this one that would be the trouble someone. And with free times and yeah, so free times they're getting 225 bucks for it as well, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Couple $100 running free is pretty good, Especially $2. I mean, traditional collectibles just things from animals, even and not even other animals, just regular animals too. And it's going to be coastal, right? I would think so. I would think so. Or no, that was dumb to guess. Oceanic, maybe? Or no? Of course not. Of course not. Of course, it has to be the last one. Megafauna. Said Megalodon, possibly, or something. So yeah, you have to look for ones that have like the Megafauna fossil spots on Gene Rock collector map to get them as good as possible. But even if you do dig up all those spots for the day, you still might not even get it just because it's fully underground. And there is a lot of randomness for fully underground collectibles, unfortunately. And yo, free tons right now. Those all stuff for 96 free, which is pretty insane. Pretty insane. My defensive mode is still on. Okay, so good. Good. Why not? But I think this is definitely probably gonna be it for the stream now. Geez, this one's 2 hours, so geez. Okay. Probably all the ability cards to explain, especially. That was pretty much the case, I'm guessing. So. But yeah, that's basically probably gonna be it for the stream. Not worth being on this any longer. What you do 6 VFI code and fuck ass box. With no physical disc. Ultimate edition to lock in shops. To that version. It's an $80 version. You don't have certain bot shops and all that kind of bullshit. Which I don't remember whole exclusive shops and 5s on. Or no. I don't remember exclusive shops in GTA 5 at all. I think he had all the clothing stores available, like, in the basic game of GTA 5 even. There might just been exclusive clothing items and stuff, and not whole ass goddamn shops. $80 says $70 when it could have sold it for whatever, basically. Again, $70 is normal, like very well. I should put it at $70. It was sold anyways, very, very well. A lot of marketing deals are accepting shit anyways that they're getting money from other corporations from. They don't have to make it $80, I'm pretty sure. If other corporations are gonna soften the blow anyways on that shit. And now the whole Netflix thing, of course, with the 6-hour early trailer shit, basically. Yeah. With all that bullshit happening, I'm basically done with the stream right now, though. That's finally be it for the stream. I hope you enjoyed.